Welcome to the Comeback Blueprint podcast, hosted by Michael Sawan. This is the show about rebuilding after setbacks, burnouts, and life-changing moments. Real stories, real struggles, real comebacks. If you're in a season of change, you're in the right place. Welcome to another episode of the Comeback Blueprint podcast. Today's conversation is about control. Leyla Gulasi was diagnosed with OCD at just 10 years old. Years later, after becoming a mother and struggling with her body image, with fitness, it ultimately became her escape and her obsession. Behind the discipline and transformation was a battle with body dysmorphia, disordered eating, and emotional aftermath of abusive relationships. Now, a business owner, a PT, a single mom, Leyla joins me to talk about survival mode. Very common theme here on the show. And I'm just going to stop for a moment and say I've been so fortunate to speak to some wonderful mothers on this program. I did not know that's where the show is going, but it's been fantastic. So it's all about rebuilding. It is. It's wonderful. And they're all about rebuilding identity and talking about what healing looks like. So I never get bored of this conversation. I love it. Let's bring her on. Leyla, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. That was a very nice intro. I feel the pressure now.
I felt pressure. I was reading it, right? I'm putting it together as I do. I always do a little intro script. And as I'm reading it, I'm like, how many single mums or mums bouncing back have I interviewed this week? And I was like, yeah. And so I didn't know that's where my podcast was going. It's going in that direction. I love it. I think I seem to have a horse whisperer vibe going on there or something.
Yeah.
But your story is going to be different to any others. And yours starts with OCD. So let's go on to what it was like when, you were diagnosed at 10 years old.
Yeah. So I guess, like you said, I'm a single mom. I've been running my PT business for 8 years. But I guess to kind of understand the woman I am today, we kind of got to go right back.
Memory lane. Let's do it.
Yeah. So I was 10 years old when I was diagnosed with OCD. And I was actually really fortunate that at the time I did dancing like very competitively. I was dancing like almost every day of the week after school. And so I was there quite a bit. And it was actually my dance teacher who, she walked in on me in the bathroom just washing my hands and crying. And so she rang my mum and she just said, look, I've just found Leyla in the bathroom crying. She was washing her hands. I think maybe you should get that looked at. And so my mum went to the doctors, explained everything that has been going on with me. And she said, it sounds very much like OCD. So she gave me a referral to this child psychologist at the time. And I went to see her, and honestly, it didn't take long. She was a great psychologist, just used general CBT therapy is quite big. And mostly you just have to have exposure to your compulsions and your obsessions to learn that if you don't do them, it's okay. Bad things won't happen. But it was very consuming. And at 10, I suppose back then too, you didn't really know what mental health was. I had no idea what OCD was. So I just thought I was I explained OCD feeling like a prisoner of your own mind. You just feel so trapped and suffocated, and you feel like the most terrible person because you don't understand why you're thinking this way. And it's very scary. And obviously with washing my hands, my big theme was germs. So I was really scared of germs, getting sick. I was scared to go to sleep because I was scared that I would die and I wouldn't wake up in the morning.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a young age to have those kind of thoughts come to your head. It's a lot to process. Yeah, you're already thinking about your mortality.
Yeah, I've always been a very deep thinker, and I'm one of those kids that everyone called a really old soul. So
join the club. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if that's why, but yeah, I saw her. I think I only had to see her 3 or 4 times initially. And with the tools she gave me, I actually saw really, really good outcomes. And I think that helped me a lot for when I had, I guess, flare-ups or relapses or however you want to call it throughout my life. Because I learnt the tools at such a young age, I feel like it was much easier for me to then come back and implement them and find things that worked for me over the years. So I was very lucky in that sense, and lucky that my mum was kind of on top of it and listened to my dance teacher and actually took it seriously and got me help. So I'm very grateful for that.
Can I paint a picture quickly? You said that your dance teacher walked in on the bathroom and you were washing your hands, right? Can we just go a bit deep? Because I would just read down a piece of paper and go, how does that raise any concerns for anyone? Is it that you're seeing you do it all the time? Is that you wouldn't leave until you felt your hands were clean enough? What was it that ticked her off to go, actually, no, there's a problem here?
So I think because obviously I was in the bathroom and I wasn't, I'd gone to go there and take a break from like obviously learning the dance routine, and I'd probably been in there a while because at this point, like if you see like my hands were covered in all little cuts from here to here. So it just like cuts everywhere because I washed my hands so much. So I would spend like a whole lunchtime at school just washing my hands, and if I touched the sink, I'd have to start again.
Wow.
Because contaminated. So I think it was because of that. It was like I was taking a long time in the bathroom. I was away from dancing, which was not like me. Plus, like my hands kind of look like that. And then she walked in, and I'm crying as I'm washing my hands. And maybe
you've been doing dancing for a while, and this develops. And I'm not saying it develops as a result of dancing, but just to put a timeline, you've been doing dancing for a while. You go to your bathroom, you come back, no problem. But at some point, you realized you were doing what you're doing, and then your teacher picked up on it. So it just developed over time.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, does the type of dancing you do, maybe could that have triggered, because it's all performative as well, could that have triggered something at that time? Was that ever connected?
It could be. You never really know. I think it's a lot of things like mental health issues run in my family, so it is genetic. And also I think just like the way and certain things of the way I was brought up impacted that. And just, I think how different people respond, and that's just how I responded. But I think it started even younger. Like I remember being really scared of like eating, and I would like choke and then I wouldn't want to eat. And that was when I was younger, but I kind of just like got over that. And then it wasn't until the germ thing where I think it really came to light. So I think it was always a bit like underlying, but OCD is a really hard one to diagnose. It can take people up to like anywhere between 7 to 17 years to actually get a diagnosis.
I think so. I think I would agree. It's even with ADHD, like it's funny, like we live in a time now where people can easily just, and I'm not trying to make light of it because I do it sometimes, but you can easily diagnose yourself, like, oh, I've got OCD. Like just because like I'm obsessed with, like for example, for me, right? I have this obsession about making the bed. I can't leave the room without making the bed. And everything has to be locked. Even when I'm inside the house, doors have to be locked. And I'm a full grown man. Like what am I worried about? And so I'd laugh and I'd go, oh, it's just not OCD kicking in. But it's funny because I think that's the problem, is that so many people can have these little traits that are just part of their character, that they will come to a point where they'll dismiss it. And it takes a long time before someone connects to us and goes, well, there could be something deeper to this. But I think, like when you told me that you actually diagnosed for OCD at 10, that shocked me because I'm like, oh, you can actually be diagnosed for it at such a young age. How did you feel? Like, how did you process that information?
I think I felt a bit of relief to realize that I wasn't a horrible person and that I wasn't alone. I think
definitely not a horrible person, that's for sure.
Thank you.
No,
don't get on my bad side.
Well, I didn't say where that was coming from.
But I think it was just a bit of relief that it's like I knew what it was. I wasn't alone, and I was getting help for it. And funnily enough, this might be showing my age, but they actually
Try me.
they sent me home with a VHS of explaining what OCD is for me and my parents to watch.
I missed the 90s. Um,
Oh, me too. Bring it back.
bring it
VHS,
back.
DVDs. Let's
VHS,
go.
records,
Yeah.
Pizza Nut, Blockbuster Fridays. I love it.
Oh, the
Um,
best. The
but
best.
even receiving that information, how did you process it?
I guess I think it was that, okay, like this is actually a thing. I'm not alone. And then it was I I think my psychologist was really good at explaining, okay, so this is what we're going to do. This is it may come up for you. It's going to feel uncomfortable. It's going to feel like you need to give in. I need you to just push through that. Here are some techniques that you can do when that happens. And then we work through it together. So, like, this is what it looks like when you do it. So when you go home, you know how to do it. And obviously, she'd tell my mum. And then I think it was just that's how I processed it. Is I just did the actual things to start working through it and the
Yeah.
tools. And I think also, like I said, the support. I think having support really helps you to be able to process it and work through it because you don't feel alone. Even if it's like, okay, I know other people have OCD, but you still don't feel alone in your own home, which can be hard for some people where people just don't get it. And don't get me wrong, like even my dad back then, he didn't believe in mental health. He's like, no,
Mm.
it's not a thing. It's just in your mind. It's all right. Like
But
you know
that's
how
also a
OCD.
90s trait as well. Like we don't like those
Yeah.
things were just Hollywood talk. It's just like, oh, you hear about it in the movies. It's not like what's mental health. It was like
Yeah.
a guy in a straitjacket. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. It's either you're
Yeah.
crazy or there's no in
It was
between.
very binary. It's like it's not there, or if it's there, it's like in full throttle.
100%. Yeah. And like,
Um
yeah, being a Turkish dad, like what's mental health?
get it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that
It's
was,
like,
yeah,
I don't see any bombs dropping, you should be fine. So
exactly. It's like this is nothing. What are you worried about?
yeah, what are you worried about?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Um But it seemed to be a very tumultuous childhood. I read that you left school in year 10.
Yeah.
Um, was that a decision off the back of what you were going through, having to manage it, or was it something else happening at the time? Were you frightened? Tell me that stage. I didn't leave in year 10. I got to year 12, but I look back going, I might as well have left in year 10. But anyway, that's a different story. But yeah, I mean, was it off the back of that?
Look, if I think because I knew what I wanted to do is why I
Mm.
left. I think if I didn't, I would have just stayed. Because honestly, looking back, school is a breeze. Honestly, give me the problems I had in high school. I'll take those
Oh,
any
take
day.
school problems any day, right?
My gosh. But not really. I think I I wasn't really, I guess, OCD is something you always live with, so you're always managing it. But it was very manageable. It wasn't really impacting my life, I guess, directly. It was more I was very rebellious, and I know I have an innocent face, but I was quite a naughty teenager. So I was jigging school all the time. I hated school. I was like smoking, drinking, doing all the things you're not supposed to do. And I just didn't like school. And I had known from like since I was in year 6, I said, oh, I want to do beauty therapy. And so, yeah, when year 10 finished, I went to TAFE and I started my apprenticeship and studied beauty. And I shocked my whole family because I got like 98% in my exams. I had 100%
Wow.
attendance. And they're like, are you okay? Are you sick? And I'm like, no, I just like what I'm learning about. Like, I'm really interested in it.
You could
So
have said the OCD paid off. I actually just, got fixed on something and it actually
it's a
worked.
blessing and a curse.
That's right. It's a bliss. That's
Yeah,
great.
a
That's a
bless. I like that.
that's a wonderful turnaround. And I think that's very telling. That's very telling because I was going to ask the question that just based on your experience, if you think you can become good at functioning while struggling, can you become good at performing while managing something like OCD? Seems like you've managed to do it.
Yeah, so the wonderful thing, but also not wonderful thing about OCD and just me as a person, I
Sure.
am wired. I'm naturally like a people pleaser. I want to be, I'm a perfectionist. I want to be really good at everything. I want to manage how people see me. And I didn't really, for me, growing up, showing that you struggled was a weakness. You don't show that. That stays private. And so I got very
Coming
good
from
at,
two very, very, very rich backgrounds, right? The indigenous heritage and the Turkish heritage, right? Like,
yeah.
there's a very proud history there of, we don't struggle, we
Mm,
just like,
yeah.
yeah. So
We soldier on. That's what we
yeah,
do.
yeah, I
Yeah.
can appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like same with like a Lebanese background, anything like that. If you've,
Oh,
if
we
you've,
just don't take no for an answer. We're a very stubborn group, but that's a different story altogether. So
yeah, yeah, let's not, we've learned to manage the stubbornness. It's not gone, but we manage it better as an adult. But yeah, so it just was like, I got very good at wearing a mask. And so everyone always thought like I had it all together. And, that's hence why I was in an abusive relationship for 10 years. I just was really good at putting like this front on, but behind closed doors, there was a lot going on that just people didn't know about.
how did becoming a mum change the way you viewed yourself? Given that you've been struggling with your identity as someone with OCD for a long time, now you've got a kid in tow. How did the identity change, the identity sort of shift in terms of how you viewed yourself?
I just honestly, I felt so lost.
Yeah.
Like you were talking about, mums are all about rebuilding their identity. I think no matter what age you have a child, when a child is born, so is a mother. You don't know how to be a mother to your child, so you're learning that. There's no booklet.
Manual. Yeah.
Yeah, this is what you do. And so when you're also, I think the extra challenge that you have, or that I faced when being such a young mum, because I had my daughter when I was 20, is that you're still trying to figure out who you are, what you like, your identity. You're trying to, build a career. And now you've also become responsible for someone else.
Mm.
And so trying to navigate those two things, you can feel like it's like tug of war. They're pulling you in different directions and you're just like, I'm not sure where to go. And it was I won't lie, it was very overwhelming.
Of
but
course.
I wouldn't be who I am today if it wasn't for my daughter.
No, kids are great teachers. They are
Oh.
great teachers. We're told that parents are the first educators at home.
Yep.
But kids just on their own volition teach you so much about yourself and what you weren't aware of what you're capable of doing. So everything
100%.
you're saying is spot on. Doesn't negate the fact that you did have a bit of body dysmorphia, for a bit of a struggle with your body during that period. I think,
Yeah.
if I read correctly, do you want to take us through the weight gain period and what was happening during that period?
Yeah. So very impressive. I put on 35 kilos in 3 months.
Yeah.
And that was after I had my daughter. So when I had her, and like I think 2 weeks after having her, I was back to 65 kilos, which was only 2 kilos heavier than before I fell pregnant. And so
Which is respectable, by the way. We should give you a round of applause for that. That's fantastic.
Thank you.
Not to be disregarded whatsoever.
Thank you. Yeah. But I was just like, I'd never been overweight, but I was very active in the sense that I walked and I danced, and my job was active because I was on my feet all day. But I can count on one hand how many times I had stepped foot in a gym. Like I was not the gym person at this point. I ate my feelings because I was so overwhelmed and I didn't know how else to cope. So food was my coping mechanism. If I was sad, I'd eat. If I was happy, I'd eat. Whatever emotion you could think on the spectrum, it was like, okay, we're going to eat. That's the
Just
reward.
living a Mediterranean lifestyle. Good on you. Fantastic.
Yeah. So me and a KFC Zinger box became best friends.
I do like my zingers, so I can appreciate
They are
that.
good. They are good. We still like them, just in moderation now.
Yes, of course.
But I just 3 months in, I just remember almost like I had been, I guess, trying to navigate being a mum, and I was sleep deprived and all the rest. And I just looked in the mirror and I didn't even recognize who I was. I was like, who is that? I don't know her. And so I got my partner at the time to take photos. And then I actually kind of did nothing about it for another 3 months. And then it wasn't until the following year in February. So I had my daughter in October. It wasn't until about February 2015 where I took another set of photos and I was like, this is it. I can't do this anymore. Like I genuinely hate what I see. I hate myself. And so that was my original catalyst to then start my weight loss journey and losing that 35 kilos.
That's fantastic. And it's because it was about a self-realization. I think you get to a point where, as a mother, and I've had this conversation before, but I just love it. And I don't love it in the sense that I think it's good. I just love the idea that there's an education behind it, is that you have the child and all of a sudden you invest yourself into the child, and doing so, you invest your identity into the child.
Yes.
And so every question comes with, and what about my girl? And what about my girl? Where does my girl come into this? And so on and so forth. And before you know it, you've sacrificed so much that you, like you said, you made friends with the Zinger box at KFC because you guys became coping mechanism buddies.
Yeah.
But it seems like you caught on early on though. Like, yes, you put on 35 kilos. I can absolutely appreciate that's a lot to take in. But you saw a point where you could turn things around. What did that look like?
So yeah, it was just the fact of like, I don't recognize who I am. Like, this isn't me. I like really hate who I have become. I hate how I look. So I just realized like, I wanted to be the best example for my daughter. And I didn't want her to grow up seeing me hating my body and talking about myself that way, because I had seen like lots of people around me, lots of women around me, my aunties and that, they're constantly doing Weight Watchers and they're losing the weight, then they're putting it back on. And so I realized I kind of had started to get into like, I hate that term, but self-development at this point.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that term.
I think it can be a bit bastardized these days, but in the sense of the word, to kind of help myself in what it really means. I was looking at how, I guess, behavior change, psychology, and I was like, if I'm going to do this and it's going to, last, I'm going to have to make this a lifestyle, and it's going to have to be about habits.
Yeah,
and
you're going to do it right.
Not just losing the weight. So that's what I did. I literally just, the first thing I ever did was I committed to saying I go for a 15-minute walk every day. And that was it. I didn't change anything else, and I just did that. And then once I'd done that for 2 weeks and I nailed it, I said, okay, now I'm going to do 30 minutes. And then once I nailed that, I was like, okay, instead of a large Big Mac meal, I'm going to get a small Big Mac meal. And
so
then
lifestyle changes, lifestyle habit development. Fantastic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it sounds so simple and trivial that most people overlook it, but that's the stuff when you do it every single day. It's the small things that add up to those big changes.
I just pictured myself saying to myself, if I walk 15 minutes a day, every day, and I'll drop my large Big Mac meal to the small Big Mac meal. The problem I had as soon as you said that, the problem that I had was like, yeah, but the result's not going to be this week. The results are going to be in 2 weeks from now. It's like, how long do I have to keep walking till that changes? Whereas if you just get up and do the work, you won't know yourself in a few months.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. And that's the problem, right? We want things yesterday, and I'm the same. Do you know what I mean? Like people think I'm quite a patient person, but I'm actually not. I'm very impatient. In here, like I need to happen. But just because I think impatiently doesn't mean I act impatiently. So I've learned that sometimes when we try to push for things too soon, it always seems to bite me in the ass. So if I just think about, I'm going to do this right the first time, rather than have to go back and do it again and go back and do it again, then it's going to pay off, because the time's going to pass anyway. So I might as well make it worth it. So that was my thought process. And also for where I was at too, like for some people they might need, this is the coach in me coming out. For some people they might need something a bit more aggressive and want to see results a bit quicker, because that gives them the buy-in, and then you can't slow it down. So it's not like something that necessarily works for everybody, but because I was 35 kilos overweight, when you're that overweight, like even the smallest changes add up a lot more than, say, someone who's already lean. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I lost the first 10 kilos that way. And then once I'd lost 10 kilos, that's when my partner at the time was a PT. And I said, I want you to teach me like how to track my food and write me a gym program. And then that's when I started going to the gym.
Wonderful, wonderful. And we're going to talk in a moment about how gym has become your life, because it's very important.
Yes.
But you've touched on something here. I have this very good habit in my podcast. I go in different directions. It's not linear, but that's because my life's not linear. So
Don't
we're
worry.
going to go in a completely different direction, if you don't mind. Yeah, no, that's all right.
I'm a tangent queen. Let's go.
Yeah, you mentioned your partner. And you've also spoken about your DV relationship.
Yep.
You spent 10 years in a DV relationship.
Yeah.
While looking after your wonderful daughter, while trying to find yourself again. How much of yourself disappeared as a result of that particular aspect of the relationship? And was it survival mode? How did you combat it? Talk me through it step by step.
The best way I knew how was literally, and it was survival mode, because it's almost like it happens slowly over time. So like you said earlier on in the podcast, it didn't just start that way. Do you know what I mean? And also
he was encouraging you to lose weight. He was on your journey with you. So it looked promising to me from what I saw.
So it's like, it didn't really, it kind of got worse over time. And that's usually what happens. More so once our daughter came along, that's when it really started to come out and then escalate more and more. But I mean, also when I look back, there were definitely signs and like red flags there, but we met when we started dating just when I turned 15. So I was very young. You don't know what red flags are. You don't know about healthy relationships.
It's all rose-colored glasses.
Yeah,
basically.
you're just like, I mean, I'm 15. I'm not thinking about consequences. I'm just like, oh, like, you know, you like this person, you have fun. And then that's really the like gist of it, I suppose. Yeah. So yeah, it wasn't until we had our daughter where it kind of started to ramp up. And so when I lost all my weight, it then became I went the opposite way and developed an eating disorder. And like part of that was because my partner was a PT. And so he was like obviously working with lots of people, helping them to lose weight. And he'd be like, oh, you know, such and such has lost 10 kilos and they did this and like they look amazing, blah, blah, blah. But not once did he ever say, well done, like you look good, you've like amazing job. Like I never got any praise from him. And so
mental abuse
that drove me.
Psychological
so that drove me to want to like keep going and losing more. And I thought, oh, maybe I'll get to a point where he will say something. But,
so you were seeking his approval, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. As you learn to do. So
this is the guy. Like, this is from the same guy who you guys had a kid together.
Yep.
Right. It's not enough that you had a kid with him. He's pretty cool. You're a mom. That's awesome.
Yeah. You would think so, but again, hindsight is a beautiful thing. But at the time, because of I guess the abuse had kind of like mentally had been kind of happening, so confidence was kind of eroded. And then I think from that point it was me battling the things that the relationship was doing to me were then feeding into the other problems that I had, right? So it was making me want to like, you know, I got addicted to seeing the scales go lower and lower. I got addicted to eating less and less and training more and more, and thinking also because, I mean, it's a thing where the way people responded to me when I lost weight was very different to how people treated me when I weighed 90 kilos. So when you get that kind of attention and like reaffirmation, like, you know, look at you, like now people want to hang out with you, you got more opportunities. It kind of like, okay, well, I can't go back there and people like me this way. So I need to like do it more. And me
Like
being
you're
a
in a nightclub now, you can't risk, changing your attire or your network just to risk not being let back in. Basically,
yeah,
you're in a group. Yeah.
exactly. And like I said, me being like a people pleaser to my core was like, well, I can't now. If I look like this and I'm this person, you won't abandon me, so I can't change.
Mm.
So that became a bit of a vicious cycle. And then I was just, honestly, I look back and I'm so thankful to that version of me, because I just think she just did things that I don't know this version of me could have made it through. Like I look back and think, wow, we really were in the depths of it. We went through a lot and we still managed to hold it together. And it just makes me really grateful for now the life that I lead, because it's just so different, and it's like my life could have been so different.
It could have, and I love the fact that you reflect on the younger version of you, because there's often that question that if you went back and had advice to give her, what would you tell her? What would you tell her?
It's all going to be okay.
And it is. Let's just clarify for those out there. How's the OCD now with everything?
It's pretty good. When I have stressful more stressful periods, which it has been a bit of a stressful period with stuff going on, and just the nature of running your own business, it's ebbs and flows. It can flare up. So I was in a bit of a flare up. It's kind of, again, I've had the tools and I've been working on it, so I feel like it's a bit more manageable now.
Yep.
But I was just in the midst of like a flare up where it was quite intense again. So it's always there, but it's just like you just learn how to deal with it better, and you don't stay in that flare up as long. It's not that it goes away, you just kind of get stronger.
Suppress it. Yeah. And I guess that comes with maturity as well, is that you can nip it in the bud quicker than when you're younger, because it's all about regulation and regulating emotions and your actions as a kid. I mean, come on, it's like trying to get blood out of stone. I can totally get it. So, no, that's wonderful. It's a wonderful comeback story. All your weight loss journey comes off the back of a few things. One of them obviously being your DV.
Yeah.
How do you define healthy? And how has it changed for how you once defined healthy, let's say 10 years ago?
That's a great question. I think healthy to me, obviously, when I was overweight, then I lost the weight. Healthy used to just I just encapsulated it to being how you look, right? If you're leaner, skinnier, and you go to the gym, then you must be healthy. But you realize that
basically.
Yeah, very superficial. It was a very superficial definition. And I lacked the emotional intelligence that I have today. So you'll have to forgive my younger self. I was quite superficial, but I think
you need to embrace your younger self. You don't have to forgive it for anything. Please, by all means.
Yeah, look, you live and you learn. That's as long as we're learning and evolving, that's okay.
If I was hard on my younger self, I'd be a very depressed man. Like my younger self didn't know anything. So,
but we thought we knew everything, and
we knew. Yeah, and I mean, I had a doctor come on and tell me that the human brain doesn't become fully adult until 25.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous. And I laughed because I said to her, well, I had a stroke at 25, so everything I learned had to be reset. And now I'm in the process of relearning everything till I'm 50. I'll just do another 25 years of it. But I'm digressing now. This is what I do. Please, let's go back to you.
All right. That's okay. So I guess now it's more like healthy would be your mental health, your social connection, also like not just the calories you eat, but also the quality of the food that you eat. It's the sleep, it's the stress management, it's the exercise. So it's like health is so multifaceted, and it's not just one thing, and it's definitely not just how you look physically, but it encapsulates a lot of things. And it's like, yeah, sure, exercise and nutrition is a part of that equation, but it's a very small part. And so if, the things that you feed your mind are just as important as the things that you feed your stomach. So it's like you've got to look at it as in it's not so simple. It's not binary.
It's not linear. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just like it's many things. It's
It
many
sounds like
things.
it takes an OCD brain to manage it.
Maybe that's the secret.
Maybe we all need that. Who knows?
If you want my OCD, you can take it. It's fine.
Oh, it's fine. I'm probably on the cusp myself.
Maybe.
Take me through Leyla now. What's going on?
So always, learning and developing. So growth is one of my top values. If I'm not growing, I just feel like I lack purpose. I feel like it affects my mood and everything. So I always want to be growing. And I guess my main mission now is to kind of grow my business and reshape how people think about health and fitness, and really break through a lot of the BS that's out there, and just focus on being a really good human and a mum, and building a life, for me and my daughter, that if we, want to go on a holiday or do things like that, just the simple things, that we can do that, and spending quality time with the people I love. It's really like the simple things. I think when I was younger, success was, I focused on, cars and houses and all of the material stuff. And while that stuff is nice when you've got the money, I'm not saying it's terrible to want those things. You realize that it's really like the non-tangible stuff. It's the people, it's the quality time, it's the memories, it's the experiences.
Yes, absolutely.
That really make you wealthy. And so, I just want to make a life worth remembering. And also, I think my thing is I always want to leave things better than I found them.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, that's true. Actually, someone else said that once as a saying. It was like, you want to leave this earth a little better than how you came in, if you can.
Yeah.
It's even just that little percentage. Yeah, why not? That's your legacy. It's legacy at the end of the day.
Yeah, and it's
now
free.
you're no BS. You're a certified nutritionist, so you're serious about this, and it's great. And you said you talk to people on your Instagram, and your whole story is there. I actually find some of them funny. Maybe I've just got a humorous brain, but I actually think you've got a bit of a sense of humor. And I can even tell just from this conversation. Yeah, you are. You love a good laugh. I like that.
I will take that. Being funny is like a big high compliment to me. And I think certain people get my humor. I think I'm funny.
You're very funny. I find you hilarious. And I say that with respect.
Yes. Love it. I love it.
Tell us, what's your plan for growing your business, and what do you want people to take from you if they spend, I'm not going to say a session, they spend a chapter with Leyla.
Okay.
What do they take away from it?
I think my big thing is I'm here to help people and guide them and give them the tools and bridge the gap from where they are to where they want to be. But I'm definitely we are a team, and so you know you, and I'm happy to work with you, and that giving people the autonomy and agency to be able to make those decisions about their health and fitness. So it's I don't want people to rely on me. I don't want you to have to come to me and be like, oh my God, is it okay if I eat this? Oh my God, if I do this exercise, is that all right? My big thing is on education, so that you don't need me. You stay with me because I'm cool and I'm funny and we get along, and the accountability is what you love, and it helps you stay on track. But it's you don't need me. You understand the fundamentals of okay, if I want to go out with friends tonight for dinner, I can have a chicken snitty if I want, but maybe for breakfast I'm going to have something that's a little bit more, I'm focused on getting a bit more protein, and I won't have as high calories, or whatever it may be. So you learn how to make those decisions to make it fit your life, and rather than you trying to mold yourself to the fitness mold and think you can only eat chicken, broccoli and rice.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that came to mind straight away. Maybe yeah.
Ew.
It is. It's would you rather the electric chair of chicken and broccoli and rice? Just give me the chair. I'm done. Finished. I can't do a life with chicken and broccoli and rice. It's just
100%.
I might be embellishing that a bit, but anyway. But what I really like is that you want people to be educated to just be comfortable with their decision making,
Yep.
not sit at, I remember there was an age where, and again, just given my age now, but you probably worked it out, but it was just like we'd sit at the table, I'd gone to the gym, and a friend of mine also would have gone to the gym, maybe separately to me, but all that. And then we'd sit and we'd go, well, what are we having today? Oh, we're going to have, like you said, the chicken shitty. Yeah. But then like, straight away, straight away, my plan is that mentally I'm collapsing. It's like, well, then it's all over. Rather than,
Yeah.
as you said, I could have the shitty today, just in the morning, I've got to have a healthy option to make up for it. But your brain is not educated to think that far ahead. You're just like, in the moment, I'm going to ruin everything. I've got to be healthy. So I do like the idea that you can think 3 or 4 steps ahead and go, no, I'll have the fun option today.
Yeah.
Just make up for it in the morning. That's it. Don't.
Exactly. And it's like you said, it's a skill, like emotional regulation, or when you feel stressed, it's like you're not always, when you're first learning to regulate your emotions, you don't respond the correct way, or you don't get that calm, or maybe necessarily that regulated reaction straight away. It takes time to, okay, I get stressed, and then, maybe it was 30 minutes after I realized, okay, I calmed down, maybe that was a better way to respond. And then the next time you catch yourself 15 minutes after, and then the next time you catch yourself as you're doing it. And so it's like anything, when you put in the reps, you get better at the skill. And so that's what I want to teach people, in the sense where I knew nothing about calories, exercising. I was the girl that jigged sport. Again, I smoke, I drank, I didn't go to the gym. I was I've done a whole 180, and now it's my whole career. It's my life. It's what I do, and it's how I help people, and I love it. But it's like, if I can do that, anyone can. And it's just showing people that it's literally like a skill. Like when you first started your job, you couldn't do it the way that you do it now. When you first learned to tie your shoes, it takes you half an hour to do both shoes, and no one can talk to you, shh, and then you make your weird concentrating face, and and then eventually you're tying your shoes, talking to your daughter, grab something else, and you're out
it's on the fly. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. So that's what I aim to do with health and fitness, is to make it a habit. So you're using less of your, brain function, and you're getting less decision fatigue, and it becomes more just automatic. And eventually that's your go-to, your default mode.
Yeah, decision fatigue. It's very common, isn't it?
Oh.
When you don't have the knowledge and the law behind it, you just start to go, what now, when, why, who can help me, give me, don't talk to me, I don't want to know about it, that's it, finished.
I'm I've got to go.
I'm done, that's it, that's over, we're done, this podcast is finished.
So you get it.
Yeah, I get it. I think we're at the same age. I've worked it out now. So no, that's wonderful. And look, it's a wonderful story, and I don't know which one I want to highlight the most, because I'm stumped on the 35 kilo loss, but then it's off the back of 10 years of a relationship that had DV involved. You've been through a lot, and I know that you would encourage others like yourself, pat yourself on the back for what you went through, really, because at the end of the day, the question is, and maybe you have the answer now, but who is Leyla when she's not trying to fix herself? So who are you?
That's a good question. I think that's a question I had for a really long time, especially when I left my DV relationship of 10 years, because when someone is telling you what to do, how to do it, and everything every single day, once you actually then get freedom to make your own choices and not have to worry about managing someone's moods from minute to minute, you're like, what do I like to do? What do I enjoy? Who is Leyla? And so it's a journey that I've been on, and I think it will continue to evolve. I don't think my answer will ever be so definitive. I think it will continue to evolve. But who I am today, if I had to explain it, I think I'm someone who wants to make people's lives better. I care very deeply about the people that I love. I love what I do. I love helping people and showing them the things that they're capable of. I am a proud mum. My daughter makes me so proud in many ways, but most of all for the beautiful person that she is. And that's what I value most. And I think I'm just goofy. I'm silly. I'm a bit weird and quirky. And
I think I picked that up.
yeah, I give it off just a little
Just a
bit,
little bit. Yeah. Very refreshing.
And I think it's just like I really enjoy like the simple things in life, and that's kind of like me in a nutshell, I guess.
Beautiful. Is your daughter exposed to both cultures? Do you make sure that they get both worlds? What's that like? Because they're two different cultures.
Yeah, so I think she's probably got the most exposure to, I guess, both of the worlds. I think it's something that
Did you align to one or the other growing up yourself?
Not really, but I guess we didn't discover about like our Aboriginal heritage till like later, until I was probably my daughter's age. And then even still, it wasn't something that was really talked about. It took a while for my family to open up to that because, you know, the lost generation and all that stuff.
Yeah,
so
of course.
that's just the journey there. But I think it really helps to shape her and I guess give her a broader understanding of different people, and like not everyone lives the exact same way, not everyone believes the exact same things, because I think that's what I was lucky with, where my dad is Turkish, so majority of Turkish people are Muslim. So my dad is Muslim and my mum is Catholic, and they got married in a Catholic church, which is not heard of.
No.
And no one converted.
Being Lebanese, I understand what you mean.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You understand how big a deal that is.
Yeah.
Especially when like my parents got married in the 1990s. So it was like...
I do find Turkish a bit more liberal though.
I think maybe now.
Maybe now. Maybe I'm basing it on now.
Maybe now.
I'm basing it on now.
But I think still back then it was very much like, you know, Turks usually would stay within the Turkish community.
Yeah,
it was rare for them to venture out. Do you know what I mean?
Good old Ottomans. Yep.
Yeah. You kind of stick with your people. So I feel like in that sense, I was lucky where, neither parent made the other convert, and we've always like growing up we just didn't have, you know, bacon and stuff in the house to respect my dad's wishes. So I think it made me very well rounded in the sense where I was able to appreciate different people and different religions and be more open-minded. And I think I see that in my daughter a lot, even more so. Like she's way ahead of, like she's so emotionally intelligent for being 11. It's insane. She's like way ahead of me. It's crazy.
Welcome to 2026.
I know.
Which kid doesn't outwit their parent? Seriously.
Yeah. Well, that's the aim. Be better than me. Be a better version.
Then you've done well. And that goes back to what you said. Leaving the world a better place is making sure your daughter is set to take on more than you could have at the time, but just with less stress. So,
100%.
Yeah, 100%.
And avoid my mistakes, hopefully.
Look, there's two outcomes. I probably say this on every second episode. There's two outcomes to every situation. You win or you learn. That's it. Just take one or the other. There's no
100%.
There's no loss if you can actually just get something out of it.
Agree. I couldn't agree
more. You've done
more.
Absolutely well. I'm very proud of you. I've only known you for 1 hour, but I think you've done a great job.
Hopefully more hours to come.
Yeah, I'd love to do some more shows with you. That'd be great. Yeah. Where can people learn about you more? So we've got Instagram that's always going to be tagged, but you've got your online coaching. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I work with people, just everyday people who want to get stronger, look a little bit better, feel better, improve their relationship with their body and food. And I'm pretty much mostly online now. I work with people on training or nutrition or both, depending on what they're looking for and their goals. And so that's one-on-one. They work with me, but everything that you need is literally through my Instagram is where you will find everything else.
Yeah, no, it's a very colorful gram. I love it. I do love it. I'm always checking it out, seeing what you're posting next. It's very raw. I always feel like it's not scripted. Sorry?
I said thank you. Yeah, no scripts. We're just
it doesn't feel scripted. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you've got a great comeback story. So I'll ask our signature question on this show, which is, what does comeback mean to you?
I think you take the things that happen to you, and like you said, you learn from them. You use them to help inform you for the future. And I think when you come back, I think you forgive yourself for not making maybe the best decisions at the time.
Yeah.
Because I feel like for a long time, when people go through, I guess, bigger traumatic things, or maybe they went through something that was a negative experience or sad, we can tend to really ruminate and think, oh, I wish I had just not done that, or I wish I had said that. But it's just like, forgiving yourself when you know better, you do better. And at the time, that was the best that you could do.
You did what you did with the information you had. That's it.
Yeah. And just,
Yeah.
I think, you learn to give yourself a little bit more grace when you come back.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And no, it's so true. Like, you could only have, we're going back, 12 something years, 11 years. Like, what did you know? Like, the reality is, what did you actually know? You're only just trying to manage your OCD at that point. So, it was a big undertaking for you.
Yeah.
But you've done remarkably well. So, are you ready for some rapid fire questions?
All right, let's go.
All right, I've only got 4 of them, but I think they're really good. You ready?
Okay.
Okay. What's something people praise about you that actually came from pain?
I think being real and being vulnerable. I think that's the main thing. I what you see is what you get, and I share my ups, my downs, and that came from pain and once upon a time running away from actually doing that.
Yeah, just taking our head on and saying, that's my identity that's molded me. That's me now.
This is me.
Yeah, this is me. Bring it on. What's one thing you're learning, and I use the word learning here, what's the one thing you're learning to let go of?
For me, it's still very much like resting. Like, as in, I'm letting go of having to be doing something all the time is probably the thing I'm letting go of. Because, again, I've always gotten a lot of derived my value from what I can bring to other people and what I can deliver. And so I'm kind of, whenever I've not been doing anything, whether it's like I'm like sitting there and I'm like, I should be listening to a podcast or doing something productive, it's like just learning to actually just do nothing and do something that I enjoy and is not productive.
Yeah, that's an action in itself. Just learning to just embrace the moment
Yeah,
and do nothing. And I come back to being 2026 where we're so hardwired to everything, and like I'll switch this off in a few minutes and I'll feel like I have to be doing something rather than going, that was a doozy. Layla did my head in. I've got to go. But it's
let it sink in.
The whole Zen thing.
That's a challenge. You got to just like let it sink in and do nothing for 10
I'm going to
minutes.
go and you've encouraged me. I scouts on it to you. As soon as I hang up, I'm going to go for a walk. Just get my 10 minutes in today. I've got to do it.
I'll check in later to see.
Check in 15 minutes later. All right. Few more questions. What's something you wish more women were honest about?
I'm going to say our struggles. And I think we feel like there's a lot of pressure on us from just society in general to carry a lot. As women, we're expected to carry a lot. Children, the house, the like working a full-time job, and then remembering people's birthdays and this and the kids' dance things and all of that. And so we feel like often motherhood can feel quite isolating because you feel like you're alone. And so I feel like I wish more women would be able to share that and like feel like it's okay and they're not going to be judged, because sometimes that's the scary part too, is like I think if I had realized that, I maybe would have opened up about DV sooner. But when you see a lot of people around not understand how DV works and then go, yeah, but why didn't she just leave? And it's like, it's not that simple. Do you know what I mean? So I wish women would understand that. And I think, I don't think I haven't really shared this much, but my big vision is like, I would love to, once I grow my business more, even as I'm growing it, I would love to work with different like charities, and also do like a round table of like an event for women to help them learn how to write a resume, how to save money, how to look for a job, all of the
It's
things that
wonderful.
actually keep women
Yeah.
stuck in DV relationships, to learn those skills so that they have more of a chance of actually getting out and not being stuck in those situations.
I don't think that's something that you have to wait for. I reckon you could get that done the same time I've done my walk. Honestly, like I think
You reckon? Okay.
people are so warm to you from what I see on socials. You just put an event up right now and just say, and then do a date 1 month from now and have it organized. And I'll even give it a plug if you do it. So there you go.
Okay. All
I
right.
reckon you can do it. But I honestly
You're
think that's a
holding me
beautiful.
accountable now.
Yeah. Well, that's what friends do, right?
Yeah,
So
100%.
you know
Okay.
what I've learned that's very interesting though. I hear DV and obviously the word domestic violence, and I just straight away go to the physical. But I've learned
Yes.
there is the psychological aspect of it that can be considered DV, and whether the man or the woman, whoever the perpetrator is aware they're doing it or not.
Mm,
And was he aware?
yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
The people that are doing it are very aware of what
Yeah,
they're
okay.
doing. They're very.
This
they're
is knowledge for me. I'm glad to take this in because it's yeah.
Yeah. I've like learned so much about it. And I was lucky enough. I did like when I reached out to a hotline. I think it's 1-800-violence for anyone if you
Right.
ever need to use it.
1-800-violence. Yeah.
Yeah, it's I reached out to them because I was in danger as a certain situation, and then if you do that, sometimes they will put you in a government-run program where they teach you about, power and control and what abusive relationships look like, and then what healthy relationships look like, and that taught me a lot as well. And so, yeah, I think they know what they're doing, and it's very much the psychological and mental, financial abuse that often doesn't get seen is sometimes the more insidious because you don't see it. It doesn't leave scars here, but it leaves scars in here. And sometimes and this sounds like really bad, but this is the reality for a lot of women, and I want to keep it real, is like sometimes I would just say like sometimes I just rather you would hit me, because then at least people would see what you've done.
Right. Yeah.
Like
I mean,
that would
I wouldn't
hurt.
wish that on my enemy, but I actually get what
No,
you're trying to say. Like that. That
no,
makes it makes
yeah,
sense what you're trying to say there. That is
yeah,
sad when it gets to that point. Like that's obviously
yeah,
that's the height of psychological abuse.
yeah. It's
Whereas
sad,
like
but
yeah,
it's the reality for a lot of women, unfortunately.
that's
So
horrible. No, I'm
yeah,
sorry to hear that. I'm so glad that you got out of it. I am. I'm
me
very
too.
happy for you. What would you tell the version of yourself who felt trapped? And at the same time, what would you tell others who are in similar situations and just don't know where to start?
I think just start with the smallest step you think possible, and find just one person that you trust and just tell them, reach out to them, because people want to help you. People do want to help. And I know it can seem like
Yes.
they don't in the world we live in, and when you see horrible comments on social media, but for the most part, people genuinely do want to help you if they're good people. And yeah, not doing and carrying it alone, because the shame and guilt that you feel with a lot of the things you struggle with is what keeps you stuck.
Mm.
It's like because you feel shame and guilt about it, you don't want to share it with anyone, so you stay stuck in that situation. So I would think like it's okay to struggle. It's okay to DV happens to the strongest women. It happens to the most confident women. It's not like it doesn't discriminate. So regardless of whatever it is, it's just take the smallest step and then just reach out to at least one person and get support.
Yeah, and you're right in what you say about people on social media. They can be brutal, but I've always thought that the harshest ones are ones that have problems themselves that they're hiding.
Oh,
And so it's
yeah,
just a means to vent, and they're probably seeking help, and the best way they can cope is just to bring others down with them, and
yeah.
that's unfortunate, but that's yeah,
No one who feels good about themselves or is doing better than you is going to comment shit things on your post or anything. If anything,
no,
they're only going to lift you up. So what I
correct,
always say, what someone says about you says a lot more about their character
correct,
was about you. Yeah.
Correct. And what I have to say about you is very positive, and so I hope that complements my character. But I'll have a lot of good things to say
Yes.
about you when this goes live, for sure.
Yes.
I really
Right.
do want to thank you for coming on. I felt like I was speaking for a while before we finally lined this up, and I think finally the stars aligned and you came on
We
board.
got there.
We got
Yes.
there. We got there.
got there.
As it
Thank
is with
you
the
for
Comeback
having me.
Blueprint podcast. No, that's absolute pleasure to have you. And look, your story is a reminder that not all struggles will look chaotic from the outside. And like I said, I learned a lot today. That sometimes survival mode can look productive, or in your case, you've got the OCD going as well. So
Yeah.
sometimes the pain hides. The pain can be hidden inside your discipline. And so that you had a lot going on there in terms of trying to keep fit, trying to manage your OCD, raising a daughter. Let's never forget that. And I guess, like you said a moment ago, sometimes the strongest thing a person can do is just stop trying to disappear. Like, be present. Let people know you've got stuff going on in your life. It's tough.
100%.
And so I hope this helps others, and I hope it also gives your business a bit of a plug, because you're doing great work. Please, everyone, check out her Instagram. I'm going to put it in the link when it goes up. But I do thank you for coming on. So thank you, and it's a pleasure to have you on the Comeback Blueprint podcast.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
You too. You've been listening to the Comeback Blueprint podcast with Michael Sawan. Real stories, real struggles, real comebacks. Follow these comeback stories on Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, and anywhere else you can find us on social media. And don't miss what's coming next.